All right, welcome to this week's Deal of the Week. It's the first deals of the week for 2026. We're in a buyer's market, and prices, they don't seem to be going up. They seem to have kind of, at least the transactions that have actually happened have kind of bottomed out a little bit, but who knows? Could drop more, could stay the same, could go up. I'm not in the prediction business, so we'll see what happens here. But I have found this week two great houses in St. Pete. And if you're out there looking, just be super picky about what you're looking at. Use all of the leverage that this buyer's market provides you to get the best price and concessions that you can. Sellers are starting to come to grips with their situation and are starting to loosen up a little bit on concessions and price drops and stuff. But, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are trying to sell their house. Maybe they bought it in 2021 or 2022 or something, and they're just trying to kind of get out even after transaction costs and everything. But that's not how the market works. The house is worth what the market's willing to pay for it. I put the link to my buyer's market tips in an ebook, and there are four things that we always look for. First off, the number of days on the market plus the number of price drops. And that tells us, is the seller reacting to market conditions? If they've been on the market 60 days, are they dropping the price regularly? Are they consulting with their listing agent about the activity? If you're not getting showings, never mind offers. If you're not even getting any showings, you're priced too high. If you're getting showings but no offers, maybe the price drops will be a little bit less, but you got to inch your way into where the market is. So it's a good indication that the seller and the listing agent are running a good show when you see regular methodical price drops where they're trying to find the market value of the house. So also, again, in this market, you're not buying a house, you're buying a neighborhood too. So more than ever, I would say try to get into the best neighborhood you can. You don't necessarily want to be stuck in a neighborhood that's quote unquote on the way up, because that could stall out and it could mitigate any potential equity gains for you in the future. Look for houses that are going to be low maintenance. This is the boring part of it, but when you're looking at the description, which is full of flowery language, if you're on your laptop, do a Control F and just type in new or AC or HVAC or roof. See what new features the house has, because remember, we're in Florida here and insurance is always going to be an issue. And you don't want to be in a situation. I mean, if you get the right deal, it doesn't matter. But once a house gets to a situation where the roof is, say, 12 or 14 years old, the clock is ticking. You're going to have to replace that roof. That might be $15,000, $18,000. And if you didn't account for that when you made the offer, you're not going to feel great when you get the non-renewal from the insurance company saying, either put a new roof on or we cancel you. So, try to stick to houses that have upgraded systems, or go in fully expecting to be able to set aside the cash to upgrade those things when the time comes. And then, I always say this is easier said than done, but broad appeal houses are easier to sell in any market. That 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a split plan and a 1 or 2 car garage, that's where the most buyers are looking. You get into the 2-1s or the 2 1.5s, or a converted garage. Those are a little bit tougher to sell. I'm not saying don't look at those. Whatever the house, if it works for you, it works for you. But if you have the option to buy a house where the extra room was a garage that's converted versus the same square footage, but it also has a garage, I tend to lean towards getting that garage. So let's jump into this now. We're going to look at house number 1, which is 524 50th Avenue South. Now, this house is in the Bayou and Shores neighborhood, which is in the south side of St. Pete. And we'll zoom out a little bit here so you can see it is not quite out to the eastern coast or the east side of St. Pete. It's tucked in there just a little bit a ways from Coquina Key. Very cool neighborhood, and for being that close to the water, surprisingly, it's not in a flood zone, which obviously I tend to stay away from, or I absolutely stay away from when it comes to single-story, non-elevated homes. I'm just not interested in looking at those houses, to be honest with you. So this house has been on the market for 25 days. obviously breaking one of my rules already. It's only been on the market a couple of weeks. And the reason that I'm looking at this house is primarily because I think we might be getting close to the actual market price. Whenever you see this is also something when you're looking at the pricing history. You see it went for sale on December 11th. It went pending a week later. In this market, somebody jumped on this house after 6 days on the market. Now, we're not going to know what price was offered, but a little bit of a clue is that they put it immediately. I mean, it lasted 5 days. Something happened. We're going to want to find out what that is, if it was an inspection issue or cold feet or financing, although a little early in the process for financing to fall through. And then right after that, they dropped it by $15,000. So my guess is that the offer was in the 490s, and they feel like they're in the range now. So they put it back up at 499.9, and they probably think now we're only a couple of days past that, so who knows? But at $318 a square foot, that's getting into the range. You know, we like to be around for a regular house, depending on the location, obviously, we like to be somewhere between, you know, if it's in good shape, between 275 and say 305 or 310 per square foot. So, but we'll get to my price target in just a minute. Now, this house does have, you know, broad appeal that checks one of our boxes. It's a 3.2 with 1,572 square feet. Let's go through the pictures. Now, this was bought earlier in the year, and it was a complete renovation, and it looks like exterior paint. That sod looks new, a little bit of landscaping. You know, it's got some nice curb appeal, nice shaded lot. I don't know if those windows are new, but a nice big open. I mean, they did a nice job, not overly styled here, but I mean, really nice big picture window in the front, a little dining area, really big open plan, some nice lighting fixtures, all new appliances, kitchen cabinets, countertops. I mean, the house feels all of the 1,500 square feet. And then as we go into, honestly, I don't know what this room is. I'm assuming it's the third bedroom, and if it is absurdly small. I mean, obviously you could make it a home office. So there's one bedroom, fully redone bathroom, small but certainly serviceable, very nice. And this would have been, and you can always tell by the sloped ceiling here, this would have been the Florida room at some point. And obviously this was probably an exterior wall as well. So it's an enclosed Florida room, looks very nice, gives you a little extra living space. Everything's nice and neutral. This primary suite is also in the back of the house and was probably an addition based on the sloping ceiling here, but they did a nice job with this beautiful, I think these are printed tiles, but very nice, modern, clean look. Yeah, nice separate laundry room. That looks like a little, I don't know, pantry. Garage is refinished, one car, but nice. I don't know what's going on with this water heater. I mean, it looks like it's got a ton of rust at the bottom here. I'm not sure what the deal is, but so that's, you know, $1,200 within the next couple of years. I think it's all, but here's really one of the reasons I love this house. I mean, I would totally put a pool in here. This is a big, big, deep yard. I mean, I don't know how big this little patio here it is. Let's say it's even 15 feet to give you some sense of scale. I mean, this is like a 1/4 acre lot. So you could easily put a pool back here. You know, just really, really nice. Which gives you a little bit of privacy too. So it looks really nice. So let's score this house. Now, the days on the market, 25. I'm going to score that a 6 because it's just not enough time on the market. I'm not saying I'm breaking my rule. Sometimes a rule has to be broken. This house is probably priced close because it did get an offer right away. And then the seller reacted by lowering the price by $15,000, which is we're going to assume is around where the offer was. The house has broad appeal, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet. You know, that's right in the middle of the market. Oh, and here I didn't even see this. It's a 0.31 acre lot, so it's more than a quarter. It's almost 1/3 of an acre lot. So this is a really, really big lot. Easily put a pool back there, which, you know, to me adds to the appeal. So we're going to give broad appeal a 9. Now, on the maintenance, I'm going to give it a 5 because unfortunately, and again, I'm kind of breaking some rules here, but I just think there's a lot of value to this house. The roof is 14 years old, so You got a couple years left on that before you start getting worried about getting the letter from the insurance company that you're going to have to replace the roof. So you're going to factor that into your price, obviously. But it's a hassle to get a roof done. It's an unknown number. It could be 12, could be 18,000, depending if any of the boards under the shingles were rotted. I don't love it. The water heater looks terrible. I don't love that either. And we don't have any information on the AC or the electrical panel. So I'm not trying to not sell this house or not sell you on the idea of this house. There are some unknowns and some things that I don't like. As far as established neighborhood, this, it's close to the Boyd Hill Nature Preserve. This is a really nice area on the south side of downtown St. Pete, so I don't have any issues there. So let me go back to the maintenance. Maintenance, I'm going to give it a 5. The established neighborhood, I'm going to give it a 9. I like this area. It's very woodsy. The lots are big. It just has a lot going for it. So overall, I'm going to give this house a 7.25, which is right on the edge of whether or not I would want to go see it. It's not a very high score. I understand that, but it has been under contract. The offer would be based on the old roof and some of the unknowns. I like the idea that this is a 2025 renovation. As far as the interior goes, it looks like they did a very nice job here. So I'm going to put a price target on this one of $469. It's 30 grand less than we have now, and it puts it just under $300 a square foot, $298 a square foot. I think if you can get it at that number, this is a home run. So let me know what you think about this. Make a comment. Is even $469 too much? I don't know. I think that's probably a pretty good price for a 1,500 square foot house with plenty of room for a pool. But drop a comment, let me know, and let's take a look at house number 2. All right, let's look at house number 2. And this one is at 2153 75th Way North in St. Petersburg. It's in the Azalea neighborhood. Let's take a quick look so you can get an idea where this is. And it's kind of right adjacent to one of my favorite neighborhoods, Jungle Terrace. And now we're on the sort of the west side of St. Pete, about a 15, 20-minute drive from downtown. But this is a really nice neighborhood. And once you get to the water over here, you're looking at, $1 million homes. So it's a really nice neighborhood. This house has been on the market for 6 months now. This is what we like to see. 6 months on the market. And let's see what the price action was, see if they've gotten any pending situation. I don't see. So they went on in July, and they've had 4 price changes for a total of $50,000. So they've sort of methodically dropped the prices the first month and 2 weeks later, and then it was a couple of months and then a couple of months more. I would expect if they're not getting any action, they're going to be going lower than that right now. But that's a good sign that, once you've been on 6 months, it's either kind of put up or shut up as a seller. A lot of listing agents will do a 6-month contract with their seller. So they might be approaching the end of this listing, which is probably going to motivate everybody. But let's take a look at the pictures here. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with just 1,400 square feet. A little small for a 3-2, but not terribly. Sort of a ranch style house. And you can see right off the bat here that the garage was enclosed. Not my favorite thing. A 1-car driveway. Obviously, that's got to go. You got to either kind of create a second car lane here or just do a full 2-car driveway. This is a beautiful pool. This is a really nice looking pool with travertine pavers all the way around in a backyard that has plenty of room for it. So big open living room and kitchen. Looks like, this is a new renovation with newer appliances. Some nice touches, little farmhouse stainless sink there, big windows to the back, big windows in the front, so lots of natural light. Nice little touches like this little shower, this glass shower. This looks like it was the garage based on the roof, the back of the house. So, decent sized primary suite, super clean all around. This bathroom is the original. It looks like even an old vanity here. So might set aside a few bucks to update the second bathroom at some point. This is your washer and dryer. I mean, look at this pool area. This is absolutely gorgeous. I'd put some sort of structure here like a pagoda or a pergola or something with a roof on it and get some shade. Put some seating out there. But just cleaned up a little bit. This is really, really beautiful backyard. So nice looking house. a little on the small side for a 3.2, but you get a pool. So let's just go through and score this one. I mean, this house has been on the market 182 days now. 4 price drops for a total of 50 grand. That's a motivated seller, if you ask me. I'd say it has broad appeal. You know, again, a little on the small side, no garage. I'm going to take points off of that. So we'll give it a 7. Oh, the first one, days on the market plus price. We'll give that a 9. I think the listing agent here and the owner of this house are doing a good job trying to find the right price for this house. And I have a feeling they will get there sooner than later. Broad appeal a 7. I don't like the idea there's no garage. I'm not crazy about garage enclosures and the single car driveway, which is not a big deal. That could be expanded, obviously. Maintenance-wise, we've got a 1-year-old pool, which is nice. That means the pool pump is a year old. And then there's a new metal roof on this house. So we've got some new stuff in here. Obviously, the kitchen and the appliances and flooring are new, and the house has been repainted inside and out. So maintenance-wise, I'm going to say we're going to score that an 8. The AC and electric, we don't know. The renovation is from 2019. So, you know, that's still pretty good. As far as established neighborhood goes, I love this area. It's right next to Jungle Terrace. It's not a flood zone. The neighborhood is filled with houses of similar size or maybe a little bit bigger. So it fits right into a nice neighborhood. I'm going to give that an 8.5, which gives us a total score of 7.8 out of 10. So again, we're right. You know, I like to see houses that score 8 based on my scoring. 8 or above. 7.8 is good enough, but I would say there are a couple of unknowns here. My price target would be $434 for this house. I think $308 per square foot. That's not a lot under this $450. I just feel like a house with a brand new pool at $308 a square foot and adjacent to Jungle Terrace. I mean, it feels like a steal to me. If you don't love the idea of no garage, I get it. If that's a deal breaker for you, there's plenty of room in the backyard to put a storage shed, so I wouldn't worry that much about that part of it. But I think this one is pretty good at $434. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment if you would. Also, remember to subscribe to the channel. I do deals of the week every week. Try to uncover some sort of diamonds in the rough here in the Pinellas County area. So drop a comment. That's our deals of the week for this week, and I will see you next time.